Hey, good morning and welcome. Friday the 13th. This is one of my favorite days, so I'm pretty excited, although you guys can probably tell from my hair being all kind of crazy and lack of makeup and everything else, I'm not feeling the best today, but I wanted to hang out, wanted to share some coffee and hopefully wake up and be a little bit more with it, I guess, at least. I apologize, we've been having technical issues this morning, along with the fact that the landscapers next door are loud, very, very loud. So we will power through together. But I have been researching and I was finding some fun things. I thought, why not 13 fun facts about Friday the 13th? And yeah, tomorrow, for those that celebrate, it is Valentine's Day. And if you guys saw the post, I did get this very cool chocolate rose, which right now, sweets are not my best friend, but I thought it would be fun to show it off. There was a very cool lady when I went to the store a few days ago, and she was handing them out. She was sitting right outside the front of the store, and as people left, she gave them a rose, and she said, everyone deserves a little love. So I thought that was very cool, and I've got a few Valentine's Day fun facts, too. I'm actually going to start with those. So, Valentine's Day actually started as a fertility festival, a Roman fertility festival. Not something I went into a lot of research for, being that, Poe is basically my kid. I'm not the maternal type. I think it's probably the most polite way of saying that. I am a cat mom, but they're not going to be celebrating Valentine's Day. They're still destroying little footballs and mice from Christmas. So I had to laugh when I saw that in 1866, the little candy hearts were invented, and they were actually originally invented as a medicinal lozenge. And the fact that I call them Tums, that made me giggle a lot, I'm not gonna lie. There are approximately 250 million roses, not counting the chocolate ones, that are grown every year specifically for Valentine's Day. I mean, they grow other ones, people of course grow them in their yards, but there are actually about 250 million that are grown annually just for Valentine's Day. That's, I don't know, impressive, I guess. Richard Cadbury introduced the first heart-shaped chocolate box back in 1860. So, I mean, chocolates obviously were already out there. Chocolates have been around forever. But they started coming in a little heart-shaped box that we all know and either love or fear, depending on how much variety you like. This one, it made total sense once I saw it. But I thought it was kind of cool. And since I have a lot of friends that are teachers, actually receive annually the most Valentines because of, I assume, their students and then co-workers and significant others, but they receive the most Valentines of anybody. Approximately 3%, we're not all crazy, but approximately 3% of homeowners or pet owners do get their pets Valentines. It was actually estimated that about $1.5 million will be spent on pets. So that's, I mean, it's probably, toys and treats, and it's cute. Again, my cats are not getting anything for Valentine's Day. They're chasing each other around over a twist tie, so they save me money. They're easy to entertain. So, okay, this one actually goes more with the Friday the 13th thing. But in Victorian times, people would actually send mean-spirited messages trying to ward off unwanted suitors, and they were called vinegar Valentines. I'm just saying I understand. Not that I get a lot of suitors, but I would totally do that. That would be me. This one I actually did know. I studied Japanese culture in school. I've been to Japan more than once. In Japan and in Korea, on February 14th, women give gifts to men. Candies, dolls, stuffed animals, letters, whatever, cards, whatever you have. And then men return the favor on March 14th. So it's a two-part holiday in those countries. Approximately 6 million couples get engaged every year on Valentine's Day. Again, it's a day of love. I get it. It's not my style. Of course, I'm never getting engaged again. But I don't know. I guess I'm more of the spooky girl, so if you're gonna do it, like, do it once I survive the haunted house right around Halloween or something. Over 145 million cards are sent between Valentine's cards and just the regular greeting cards, Hallmark and that kind of stuff. So it comes in second only to Christmas. That is the only holiday that beats it. There is a pope that, and I was going to try to pronounce the name. Guys, I am not there. I can't. Let's just say the pope at the time. Made St. Valentine's Day official on February 14th of 580. This has been around a long time. The first recorded Valentine was actually written by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife when he was in prison back in 1415. That's the first recorded Valentine. There are 4, believe it or not, actually I was surprised it's only 4, but there are 4 states that have a city named Valentine. Arizona, Texas, Nebraska, and Virginia. And of course, I guess Virginia makes sense since it is known as Virginia's for lovers. That's their tagline. So that one made sense to me. I was just a little surprised. For some reason, it actually seems like the type of name that they would have in more places. Now we get to do the fun ones. Friday the 13th. So, and forgive me, I know the word. I have attempted to say it like a billion times. Triskaidekaphobia, which is as close as I'm going to get. The fear of 13 is a huge, obviously, issue on today. Approximately, according to the Phobias Institute in North Carolina, 17 million to 21 million people actually suffer from the fear of 13. So that's actually a big one. I didn't realize there were that many people that actually had a problem with the number 13. And every year does have a Friday the 13th. This year has the max, which is 3. We've got it in February, obviously, today, and March, which is very, very rare to have them back to back. It only actually happens when it happens in February. And then November, we'll have another one, so that's pretty cool. There is an average of 212 days in between February the 13th, except, I guess, in this particular situation. It has actually inspired the day, and the fear and the craziness and the superstition that goes around it has inspired, of course, the Friday the 13th movie franchise, which I maintain missed a huge mark by having 12 movies instead of 13. Most places in Western culture do consider 13 to be unlucky. However, it's not all Friday the 13th. In Spanish-speaking countries, it's actually Tuesday the 13th. It's still 13, but it's Tuesday the 13th. And then in Italy, it's Friday the 17th. That's bad luck. Greece actually follows the Spanish-speaking countries. They believe in Tuesday the 13th being unlucky. Approximately 80% of buildings in the U.S., the high-rise buildings, don't have a floor 13. They actually skip it. Again, superstition. Pagans actually considered the number 13 to be lucky because it corresponds with the lunar, the full moons and the lunar cycle in a year. Taylor Swift, for all you Swifties. I'm not a Swiftie, although I like some music. I like some music by everybody, though. Taylor Swift does consider 13 to be her lucky number. So, take that as you will if you want to believe that that has any significance. Also, Christians tend to avoid it because Jesus was crucified on a Friday and there were 13 members at the Last Supper. So there tends to be a little bit of distance from Friday the 13th. Approximately $800 to $900 million is lost annually in businesses because people won't fly. People won't do business. People think deals made on Friday the 13th. Again, we go back to superstition. They don't like dealing with Friday the 13th. There is actually a club. It was formed in the 19th century, and it is called the 13 Club. It is a group of people who get together and kind of defy the superstition. So they hold dinner parties with 13 people and 13 candles. And they have 13 courses, which, by the way, even when I'm at my healthiest, I could not eat 13 courses unless they were all about that big. I love to eat. Don't get me wrong. I love to eat, but I I can't eat that much. The Alfred Hitchcock, who is a fantastic, wonderful creator, he was actually born on August 13th in 1899. So people believe that may have actually affected his desire to be involved with the thrillers and the darker productions. 13 is in the tarot cards, it is death. Now, death very rarely means physical death. It's usually more of the end of a chapter or new beginnings or a transformation of some kind. And so it's actually not really something to fear. It's something to kind of look forward to and go, okay, this thing is over. I'm starting this new thing. I'm becoming this new thing. So death, in my opinion, especially in tarot, is kind of a cool thing. And while that is 13, there is a bonus one, which I know makes it 14 and going into Valentine's Day again. But my personal thing, and actually has to do with the Judy Fluke books that I was referencing. The number 13 in the baking world is called the baker's dozen. And we all know a dozen, of course, is 12. 12 is considered a completed number. It's a good number. 13 is not a good number, depending on who you ask. But it goes back to medieval times where there was really strict penalties if your bread was underweight. So when they were giving out the loaves of bread, bakers would put in a 13th loaf just to make sure that they didn't receive these fines and these penalties. Because if you've ever baked, if you've made cookies, if you've made bread, if you've made cake, you know that when it cools, it shrinks a little bit. Which is actually why when you let everything cool in the pan, it's easier to get it out because it shrink. However, that had a tendency to make the loaves of bread underweight. And so they would put in a 13th loaf. And that was the origin of the baker's dozen. I just look at it as a bonus. I get to eat another piece of bread or another donut or cupcake or whatever it is I'm having. But that is another kind of fun positive to the number 13. So Poe and I, of course, love spooky days like Friday the 13th. We're very excited about the fact that there are 3 of them this year. Now, again, you can hear I'm a little congested, so we're not going to hang out for too long today, at least not this morning. But I did want to remind you guys, if you want to hang out tonight, it'll be about 5 o'clock Pacific time. That'll be 8 o'clock Eastern, and then Central to Mountain, or 2 hours ahead of me. Told you I'm not doing that well. So it'll be 7 o'clock Central and 6 o'clock Mountain time. We are doing, this is our first monthly author happy hour. So if you guys remember when we did Cocktails with Kenzie last year with S.G. Tosh, when she launched the last book in her Death by Misadventure series, this is kind of a fun version of that. We're going to be hanging out every month with amazing mixologist and cocktail artist. Her name is Nell. And you guys, I don't know if you've met her before on any of these. You'll get to know her. She's amazing. She's the head mixologist of a bar called The Lock. If you remember way back when we did the voting on the red, purple, and blue dresses, the blue, when I did the photo shoot, was at The Lock when Poe and I went in. So that's actually the bar she works at. And on top of everything else, she happens to be my best friend. So I'm very lucky. But she and I and S.G. Tosh, we all talked about it, and we thought it would be kind of fun to do a hangout once a month and share a cocktail, or obviously with my medication right now, a mocktail for me. But we're going to learn how to make themed drinks for enjoying the reading experience and based on our books. And with Lust coming out next, and got Envy, this is the last one that came out. Lust will be out soon. That's what we're going to be focusing on. I'm very excited to be, I guess, kind of the inspiration for the first one. Speaking of Lust, again, you guys can hear I am not doing that well. I have had a tremendously difficult couple of weeks. I've been doing everything I can. My body is not cooperating. So Lust will be out very soon. I am, unfortunately, thankfully, I didn't do a pre-order or Amazon would be breathing down my neck right now. It is still my goal to get it out by the 22nd. I cannot guarantee that. I want to. I do. But I can't. I'm doing everything I can to get it out to you guys, but I also have to listen to my body. I have to acknowledge the fact that if I need rest or I just can't concentrate, then edits are not a thing. If I stare at the screen and I see 3 of them, it is not a thing. So today will be a bunch of running around. We are turning, people keep asking if I'm a redhead. I'm actually not a redhead. I'm naturally a blonde. And then we've got the dark brown coffee hair. I'm going back to my full vampire persona today. I'll be back to the dark hair. We're doing I guess we keep calling it the Kenzie makeover. And it's fun, don't get me wrong, it is fun. But that will be, I'll be trying to read and do edits. While doing that, I will be getting ready for author happy hour tonight. And then I will be back here in the office working again tonight once I get done. And then next weekend, for those of you here in town, it is the first monthly author social, which is, it is not about selling books. It's not about critiquing writing. It's not about any sort of agenda. We have enough groups for that. This is networking. It's getting to know your fellow local authors. It's getting to have a cup of coffee, and this is being held at Damro's Coffee out in Boulder City, where they do actually sell local authors' books. So hopefully Travis will make it. He's the owner, and he can tell people about getting into their bookstore. They've been a tremendous partner with the coffee house tours for years. So we will be hanging out with them and just getting to know each other, getting to know, maybe there's other authors that write in similar genres that you connect with or that you want to do a signing with. We do on Turning Pages, we have a list of a few local places that still are interested in hosting, including Damroast. So if you've maybe never signed there and you want to come out, come check them out. We'll be there from 10 a.m. until noon. And then I will be turning into the world's biggest fangirl. I've done it over R.L. Stine. Yes, that's true. I've met Jonathan Mayberry, and he is absolutely amazing. But there is a slightly more local, he doesn't live in Vegas specifically, but here in Nevada. There is an author that I absolutely adore, Bruce Borges. He will be at Mad Red. So I will be busy fangirling over him, and that will be a lot of fun. So I'm working on getting things out there. I'm still making the appearances that I need to. I'm still trying to get things done. But I did want to be honest. I'm trying. I'm trying my absolute best, but it is going to be probably a little delayed. If I get it out to you guys on the 22nd, then I'm buying myself a brownie. That's all I'm saying. I'm looking forward to getting it out to you, but I want to make sure that it is the book you deserve to have, that it's edited well, that it's any rewrites and things that need to be done, that everything's getting done. So I will let you know once I have an official update. Thank you guys for bearing with me, and I swear I'm not trying to use this as an excuse. I'm just not having the greatest time right now. The medication's been on overdrive, but hopefully this is the last round, so we will know more on the 24th. I will be hanging out with you guys. I don't actually know. It's either going to be Friday or Thursday next week. I have photo shoots that I had set up months ago that is on the 20th. And so I'm not sure what time the photographer is expecting to get started. If it's early enough, then we'll hang out on Thursday. If it's later, then we will do it as normal on Friday. So I'll keep you guys updated. And if you go and you see, I do have the new song of the week up there. It is Stevie Wonder's Superstitious, because, I mean, come on, Friday the 13th, I couldn't not. So from me and Bo, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for bearing with all of the changes and everything recently. And for everybody that weighed in on the phone debate, the answer is coming later today. I am getting the new phone, so And thankfully, I don't know if you guys can tell because it's kind of hard, but that little squiggle is still there on this one. This will be the last time we hang out with this phone. But I do appreciate everybody's insight. And I actually, we had the TikTok live event here in Vegas. So there have been all sorts of creators and influencers and everything here. I have been grilling them as well. So, and some of them, of course, had to say the silly iPhone. Very few, though. I was surprised how few actually use the iPhone. But a lot of them did weigh in on the Samsung versus Google Pixel debate. So I am excited to show you guys which one won out. And I will hopefully see you guys around 5 o'clock my time tonight for our first ever author happy hour. Until then, grab some caffeine. I know I'm going to. I'm also going to go see if I can take something for this congestion so I sound healthier tonight. And we will see you then. Have a good week. I don't see you tonight, otherwise I'll see you tonight. Either way, grab that coffee, grab that energy drink, and stay caffeinated.